If you have any questions, you can use chat box. Okay. So I'll reply you like whenever whenever I stop, I'll go through with your comments and then I'll reply them. Okay. So clear outs. Don't keep it with you. Ask in the chat box. Okay. Some of them. I think I didn't explain this. No. Actually, we have invited like few people like who have missed previous webinars. Okay, so this is the demo for them. Okay, so this will be considered like demo for them, but don't for you it's not this is not a demo, it's a day one live training because a few people have requested like would like to see how the live training would be and how the trainer will interact with the students, and there were many questions. So instead of answering them, I've just invited them directly into this live training. Okay. So the main key concepts will not be covered today. From tomorrow, like I'll explain. Anyways, so if there are any new people here, I mean, who haven't registered for the training, uh, do you have any questions for the people who haven't registered for this training? Do you have any questions? I'm asking.
Hi, this is Raj.
Yeah, tell me, Raj.
Yes, so I joined this as a demo class.
Okay.
Yeah, so I want to know like how. This is the first like I never
Hmm.
been working on
Hmm.
this automation or, yeah, but I have a little bit of knowledge in Dynamo, but it's been a long time I didn't use it, so it's like a fresh for me.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Cool. No worries. Any other? Any other? No questions for me. Okay. The training is going to start at 8:30. So if you have any questions, we can use this 15 minutes. So after 15 minutes till like 2 hours, it's a new movie. Like it looks like I know a Chinese language. Okay. So the entire movie for the next 2 hours, it's in a Chinese language. So it's hard to understand. Okay. So if you have any questions, please clear right away. Hmm? Let me switch the team to different. This is our own platform, which is exactly like ChatGPT. Um, um, our students are going to be use this during the training period. Okay, so which makes, I mean, if you have any questions, you no need to text me because if you don't get the right answer in right time, it's a it gives more delay in our learning as well. So I don't want that to be happened. Okay, so that is the reason if I'm not there, like there must be a person who exactly like me or who better than me, so ready to explain my student queries. So that is the reason we have introduced this, Bimera Team GPT. So group of people will be joined in this. Like, I mean, all our students, like 30 students, are going to be here in this, a part of this, the team. Okay, the one I'm using like 34, batch 54. Okay, Dynamo, batch 54 Dynamo. So it was not there before for the previous batches. Till 53 batches, it was not there. I mean, from 2019, I've been teaching on my own in my own, institute. Okay, so it's an academy. I was acting like the tutor for AutoCAD, Revit. It's a long journey. I can say it's around from 2009 itself. Okay, been 2000, sorry, 19 and started like 14. Okay, when I started this, like I've been teaching this AutoCAD and everything. Okay, I'm able to join. Look at that. Okay, okay. So, so I didn't see any text from my students having issues. I think you can go ahead. Okay, let's wait for 10 more minutes. Okay, um, so this will help you a lot. Like, we have added like a new feature. If you have any questions, you can clear act as a Revit Dynamo expert and how to use this tool. And we have a direct prompts. You can directly copy and, paste it here and ask your stuff. Okay. So this is going to be actually it's a paid after the training period, it's going to be paid. Okay. So within the training period, I want you to use it like very frequently, but don't. It's not for like personal stuff like writing an email to your manager. So don't use it for it. If we notice that, we're gonna block you. Okay, so you will never get the access again. Okay, this is only for the like learning purpose. Simple. Okay, good. So 10 more minutes. Anyone have any questions? Anyone have any questions? You have a 10 minutes only to clear your doubts. Anyone have any questions? No?
Hello.
Tell me, Balkrishnan.
Uh, yeah, this is Balakrishnan here. I just joined this meeting through a WhatsApp link actually.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to know. I know basics of BIM, man. I'm working on BIM only. Working on organization in Chennai,
Mm.
where I use BIM. But I came here to learn about how we interact with Dynamo, how we use Dynamo into the Revit, all those things. I just wanted to know. Yeah, that's that's
Okay.
it from my end.
Okay. Okay.
This GP, this BIM-era GPT, no? What was the use
Mm.
for it? How we can use this one?
Mm. I'll show
And
you.
also
I'll.
need to about this package, all those this this training, no? Explain me.
Mm.
I just joined 10 minutes back now.
I'll explain. I'll
What will
explain.
be covered in this training? All those things. Just I request from you.
Sure. Sure. I'll explain that. I'll explain that.
Okay.
And okay. Fine. Any other? Raghunathan? Raghunathan or someone who?
Yeah, Raghunath here.
Yeah. Tell me, Raghu. Any
Yeah, just
queries?
now I have arrived. I don't know what's going on. That's why I just want to know.
No, the session I
What?
have started it, Raghu. You're a student, no?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
training is not yet started. Okay. Generally,
Okay,
most of our students on the day when like they have a challenges logging in. So that is the reason I've joined early. Simple. Okay. So the session is
okay,
not yet
okay,
started. Okay. And I'm just
okay,
talking to the
okay,
people who are not registered for training. Simple. Okay. Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
8 more minutes. Balaji, Bayag, Bilal.
So the class, how many days it is?
It is 30 days training program. 30 days training
Continuous.
program and yeah, 30 days training program. But I mean, when if it is a 5 days a week, but actually we have recently run a campaign and it was really shock for me. From past 3, 4 batches, the people used to ask for like 5 days a week. But this batch, they would like to go for 6 days a week. I'm not sure. Okay, in such case, we
Right.
could.
It's better 5 days.
We'll see.
At least we'll have 2 days for
For
practice.
practice. Yeah. Anyways, we'll see. That depends. It's not on me. It's completely on the students. Okay. Good. So any other questions? Like we have a 7 more minutes. Any idea how to select any
So this,
horizontal structure elements using Dynamo? Oh, why not? For example, let me copy the same Bayag, your question. So let me ask something, the same question here, but not here. Let me switch to the Dynamo students. So act as a Revit Dynamo expert in the professional tone, in a technical and detailed style. Okay. Can you please explain a logic? Is there any option? No. Explain a logic for the same question you have asked for. Logic. I just copied from the chat box. Any idea? Logic for idea to select any horizontal. Let me copy. I'll just copy the cut. So I've seen few people been using this wrongly. Okay, they're not adding you. I mean, before you use any either it's me, it's mine, Vimera Team GPT or else a Chat GPT. You have to define few, pre-stuff. It's like you have to tell like ChatGPT to respond it as a role, a particular role. Okay. So you have to act as a Revit Dynamo expert. Okay. And in the professional tone, or if you're seeking, you're learning something, in that case, in educational tone, where is that? Educational tone. Okay. Or you're going to create a content which is in a very humorous, so in a humorous tone. Okay, so explain that. Now, let me copy. You have to mention all this. You have to mention all this and then copy. And now let me see how it gives you the logic. It's not going to write anything. So to address the task of selecting horizontal structural elements in building, it will give you. See, the main in the entire, while you ask Chat GPT or Team GPT, so if it is giving you 100 words or 100 sentences, out of the 100 sentences, maybe like you have a 5 to 10 sentences having a logic in it. So my logic it's here is vector, vector. Okay, let's see conclusion. Let me go with this now. So we have. So first we have to open a Dynamo script, select the structural elements. I mean, I'm going to select all the elements in the Revit model. And then, so I'll use categories and all elements of category and retrieve all the elements. Okay. And nodes to use. So filter horizontal elements. So this is the actual logic. This is the actual logic. No, Bayag, I can't show you. This is not the webinar or something. This is a live training. I can't show you. Okay. So, but this is the way which helps you like how to filter. I mean, it's giving you the logic. So you apply the same logic. If you know how to handle a dynamo, then only you can able to achieve this. Otherwise, no. You have a very good resource, but if you don't know how to use it, there is no use of having that resource with you. Do you understand? You have a toy, but you don't know how to on. You don't know how to control those functions. Doesn't matter it is a 1 lakh toy or 100 rupees toy. Do you understand if you can't use it properly? Okay, so this is the actual entire logic, and we generally call it as a processing nodes, logical nodes. Someone asked here, who is that? Manu. No, not that. Here somewhere. I think this one. Somebody asked a question. This one. How to select correct node while creating a Dynamo script? Someone, I think Shravan. Shravan is from current batch. our batch. I mean 54th
Yes,
batch.
I'm here.
You are here, no? I think you
Yes,
asked
I'm here.
this question.
Yeah,
Okay, good. How to
yeah.
select correct node while creating the Dynamo script? Such a nice question. Even I didn't ask this before. Okay. So it has given that understand the basic categories of nodes. So it is telling that we have a
Mm-hmm.
different set of nodes, input nodes, output nodes, action nodes, query, create, modify. So every node which you are going to play with, it has some, identity. So you have to understand that identity, and you have to act like that. Simple. Okay. So use the
Yeah.
library search and refer to the Dynamo dictionary, even though you have all this resource. Okay, but still, if you don't know how to play with, how to use it, no, there is no point of. Okay, so I'm gonna teach you how to use this very, like effectively, very, very effectively. And trust me, Dynamo is very, 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 very easy tool. If you know a person who knows the logic, you are very bad in logic, but you are very hard worker, and you don't have a smart mind. Let let bring the smart mind from somewhere else, or from someone else. Very simple. Okay. So that someone is here. That someone is here. It's a team GPT. Okay. This is exactly, even I can show you the same examples in the chat GPT 4 also. But most of the people don't have the 4. Most of the people don't have the chat GPT 4. They don't have a chat GPT 4. All men, because it's so expensive. It's 22,000 something per year. So who will invest that? Okay. So that is the reason we are offering the same interface for 4,999. To understand. Okay, so you can enjoy and you can see the others' history as well. This is not my history. So there are a number of people who have joined here and they've been asking in a different way in the different queries. Understand? So even you can enjoy their results. If you don't have time, just sit and spend your time on this interface. Simple. Nothing else. Okay, fine. It's 8:30. Well, let me introduce myself. I'm going to be your tutor. I'm going to be tutor for next 30 days. Okay. Sometimes it may extend for like, 5 or 10 days. It depends upon the way you understanding the topics. If your understanding levels are really good, we could finish the training a bit faster. And of course, we can utilize uh, the additional stuff. My like expectation, it's like a 45 hours. But if you could able to understand everything, if we finish the entire training in 35 hours, I don't leave you at 35. Okay. So that rest of the 10 hours will go more effectively. Let's just go out of the box and learn additional stuff. Okay. So to get up to that extent, I want you to understand better everything. If you have any questions, please clear. With me, we have a the different portal to clear your doubts, or else you have a team GPT to ask. Okay, you can text me and any time to clear your doubts. And okay, so I'll be available for this the complete 30 days for you. Understand? Okay. So first of all, yeah, few more words about me. Like, I'm having total 6.5 years of experience in this automation teaching. So not Dynamo. Okay, I have other, like, I used to teach Python, I used to teach C#. So now from the past 4.5 years, I've been teaching this Dynamo to my company, and we do teach everything, including the artificial intelligence as well with BIM integration. Okay, so if you have any questions related to the Python or anything, you can text me. Since I think you are very new to it. Okay, I don't think so. You do question about this. Okay, fine. So why we are here? One more. I'm sorry, I forgot it. Guys, we are. Um, actually, the students count is 30. We have two more seats left. So now it's 28. So we have two more seats left, and the rest of, I can see there are 54 people. So for the rest of that, 23, 24 people, this is not a webinar. Okay. Webinar contains everything, like how, the training information, like the career information. So how do you start with and everything. Okay, but you can't expect the same here in the day one training. So the day one, it is especially for my students. Okay, I just want you to know how the training would be. If you are interested, you may continue from tomorrow. Okay, clear? So don't expect a lot. Okay, this is just like a day one training. Okay, fine. So for my students, so we are going to learn something, a tool, called Dynamo, and that's not a programming tool. So what do you mean by programming and non-programming tools? If I use Visual Studio, if I use a Visual Studio, this is a programming tool where I can write a program, where I can write a program, I mean, which I want to print. I want to get all the 100 elements, the first 100 elements, any 100 elements in the level one. In the level one, I mean, I just need 100 lighting fixtures from the level one. So how to do that? So if I want to do it, I don't know anything. But if I want to achieve that, I should write some lines of code. So to do that, I need a coding interface. So this is such an interface to write a code. Okay. So or else like we will be using, like there are different platforms, even Monkey Team, it's ours. So I'll take a help of the same, like Revit Dynamo Expert, and if I would like ask, it will generate and they can use that here, the code. Okay. So this one, and if I go with Python, this is again a coding platform where I can write some lines of code. Okay, but we are not going to write anything. We are playing something close to a visual. So visual programming. What do you mean by visual programming? Let me show. There is a tool called Scratch. There is a tool called Scratch. Okay, so Scratch in the sense you can write your own code from the scratch. Okay, so I have a toy. I mean, I have a cat here, or else I have a dog. I have some element. Let's consider this is our element. I want to move this element. So on the left hand side, we have a blocks. On the left hand side, we have a block. This is a block. Okay, and this place I would like. I'm having here to check whether whether I'm going to play with something, whether it is working perfectly or not, to check. Okay, so this is the space where I can watch something. I can watch my actions. So my actions, let me drag that here. Drag that here. When I just click on this block, the cat is moving 10 steps forward because it has written it's move 10 steps. If I change this to 50, so it will move 50 steps forward. No, I want to move that in a reverse direction. Let's say minus. I want to turn this from the same position. It's turning. Let me set it back. Now I club this together, and now the two set of actions should process at one click. Move. Okay, move forward 50 steps and turn 15 degrees. So it has moved first and then turn 15 degrees when I click on next again. So this is a visual programming tool. So where I can find the code, and where I can implement it and where I can see the place. Okay. Similar platform even we are using, it's called Dynamo. Few of us know Dynamo here. Okay. And few doesn't know anything, like they're completely from the scratch, from the zero. So there is one more, like Win Automation Console. This is another visual programming tool. So the agenda of this, the training, I'm not teaching you the Dynamo here. I'm teaching you visual programming, guys. Try to understand very clearly. So after our training, you are going to handle any kind of a visual programming tools, not only the Dynamo. So to handle the number of tools, the visual programming tools, you need to understand the fundamentals. You need to understand the fundamentals. Okay. So to understand the fundamentals, where do you don't see any place where who teach the visual programming. Go and Google it and go and YouTube it. I want to learn visual programming. You won't get the perfect the course is nothing, because this course I have clubbed from the different resources. So I have taken some concepts out of it. I have taken some concepts out of scratch to teach you like a kid. Simple. Okay. So new process. Let me go with the process designer. We have three options over there, but we do go with the process designer. Now I see the same as like scratch, where I can find the blocks, where I can find the blocks, where I can see all the functions, whether they're working perfectly or not, and where I can implement it. So for all the visual programming, 99% all the visual programmings are like visual programming tools having the same interface. Okay. So the one to find, the code designated to a specific area. Okay. So that always left. So always left. So if I want to play with an Excel, I'll type an Excel. I'll type Excel. So I just click on launch Excel. So launch Excel with a blank document or anything. So when I just click OK, when I run this button, it will launch an Excel document for us. And I want to write to Excel worksheet. So I want you to write something in that worksheet. So value to write. So where do you want me to write? In which column and which row? So if I type exactly the same, it will write the data into it. It will write the data into it. This is the way the visual programming tools are. Okay. I mean, which is very easy to understand. You don't write even single line of code at all. Okay. Now let me show you how our Dynamo interface is. The same, where I can find the nodes, where I can find the nodes. But of course, very bad. We are not using this library at all. We're not going to use this library because I want you to explore a lot in no time. I want you to, I mean, if you're looking for something, I want you to get it instantly like that. Not doing, donkey stuff. It's very, I mean, it's not like, even though the finding should be very easy for you. So we are not using this library. We're using some other library to find. That would be on our right hand side. This one. This one. Okay. So we are developing some AI extension here. So if you write something, it will find all the nodes required for you and place it on the workspace. We are developing such a tool. And of course, it's a paid one again. Okay. You can you can create a number of scripts in no time. You just ask a question here. So it understand all the nodes which required to create that script, and it will load it onto the workspace. You just have to play like a kid, understanding the logic and connecting the nodes to it. Very simple. Like, let me show you the Team GPT one. So, somewhere I've asked here, no, in the beginning. Yeah, for example, the same thing. So there is a node in this history. So it will pick the categories. I'll just place that here and right click categories. See, I have a categories node, and let me allow the specific framing category. Out of it's like it's telling to select the structural framing. We'll do that. And the next one is further node, all elements of category. I can find all this. Okay, so this retrieves all elements with the selected category. So it is telling me to select the structural framing. So structural framing, I'll select that here. So that's what it's telling, no? So structural framing. Yeah, structural framing. And when I connect this to this, so it will pick all the elements of the particular category. Okay, what else? So there is an element dot get parameter value by name. I don't know what it does, but it's giving me, okay. So I don't know what it does. Control C, vector.z, right? Vector.z. So what else? Math.arms. Okay. So it understand the one we are developing a tool, developing an tool which is like Beamer extension. So it's going to understand all the nodes, I mean, which is showing in the Team GPT, and then they'll place it on your workspace. How cool it is. Understand? Okay. So um, you can see that in maybe within our training itself. Okay. So don't worry. Clear. So this is the place where for time being, you're not going to use this till at least like 5 to uh, at least a week. You're not going to use that extension. Initially, you'll play with the basic stuff. So the left hand side part, which is a library where you can find the nodes. You can't see all the add-ons in your machine because we haven't installed anything. So don't get panic if you don't have all this array, the tutor have all this thing, but I don't have all this installed. No, in hurry, don't install anything because it may leads, to corrupt your Revit application. So don't do any, any negative stuff until unless I explain that. Okay, don't go in that area at all. If I explain that, follow exactly the same procedure. Okay, fine. So here is a library. And from dictionary to units, you're going to access it because they are free. They are free to use. Of course, even these are also free, but you have to wait till some time. Okay, initially the examples that I'm gonna use it in our training, they are from this part only, not from the below part. Clear? Okay. So and where, I mean, I have this library, I have the workspace, but where is the watch? Right click, type watch, watch 3D. I can see that here. I have a watch 3D. I can see something here. So whatever I'm playing with, I can see that here. Like how we have for the scratch tool, we have a 3D space, right? So where I can see all this stuff, I can see the same even here. Or else we have another watch. We have a two watches. So what do you mean by watch in the sense? To see the outcome. Even though you're not using this watch, we have another way to see instantly. Okay. But still, let it be. Keep it here. Okay. So this is the library and this is the workspace and this is the watch area. Okay. So why we need this exactly? That is the visual, that is the difference between like a programming and visual programming. If you want to create a block, I need categories and all elements of category. How do I use it in the coding part? How to use it in the coding part? I'll just open Visual Studio Code. Okay, let me show you the difference between programming and visual programming. If somebody asked you in an interview, you should be very confident asking that. I mean, telling that. So select a role, Revit API with Python developer. I want you to explain in professional tone with a technical and detailed style. Can you generate a Python code to get all the walls in my Revit model, all in my Revit model? Let me rewrite that. Let me copy this and I need a code, of course. So let me hit enter. So even this is our application. I mean, this is for the advanced users, the people who wants to play. I mean, for the level 2 people. Okay. For level 1, web-based application. For level 2 people, that would be, the application based. So this is more effective than the web-based application. Okay. Now, set to bring only to get the walls and or I mean to get all the walls, I need to write the entire code. Let me write it here in Python script. Even we have a coding interface in the Dynamo as well, but you'll be learning in the level 2 training. So if you're confused about level 1 and level 2 training, text me on my WhatsApp. We'll be coming to know like what do you mean by level 1 and level 2. Okay, let this open. Let me copy, and I would like to access only this set of lines, wall category, where element is not an element tag, and Control C, Control V, save, run. Simple. To fetch the walls from the model, I have to use the code like this. And if you don't know about, what is that code means, then you can't able to access it. Even how do I come to know that whether it is uh, exactly expecting, which is bringing, did I select any elements in this? No.
Hello,
See,
Rajesh.
it has given me all the walls. Just a second. Let me. So it is giving all the walls. There are total 175 walls are there. So if I ask the same, if you ask the same, so when I just click on run, even it's giving me the same 175 walls. Even this is also giving me the same 175 walls. Okay, I would like to see the same as it is. Okay, run. Now I can see the same. So instead of writing the code, we are using a blocks. The reason people always wanted to, they need everything instantly. They don't like to put an efforts, like from the beginning. So if I learn, if I learn something today, it should be productive. And from tomorrow on, after day one, they want to write their own scripts. So this is the way the human mentality is. Okay. To achieve that, the coding is the bad option. Okay. Directly going through the coding, it's not at all because it will take some time to achieve even the basic stuff. But with the visual programming, you can achieve the complicated stuff very easily. That is the only difference between the programming and visual programming. Clear? Okay. So that is the reason why we start with the visual programming. If you hate coding, even though you love writing the code, because the way I use examples, the way we interact with AI tools, the way we interact with the AI tools will help you understanding every single area. No, you forgot a logic. You're not able to get what is the logic. Let's take help from someone else. Simple. Let's take help from someone else. Understand? Okay. So I have shown you like other visual programming tools how it works. Okay. So we have 8 more minutes. Okay, fine. Someone have a question here. Who is that? Sorry, I stopped
Hi,
you.
Rajesh. Sorry to interrupt. Just need to understand, like, the starting. Okay, this Dynamo, the user interface and everything. I suddenly jumping to Python scripting. So just need to understand, like, are we just showing like the whole map of how it is doing, or just going in advanced level itself?
No, no, no. I just want to show you the difference between the programming and visual programming. The
Okay.
programming is bit tough to understand, tough to play with, but the visual programming is very easy. Okay, the conclusion of my the previous thing is like why visual programming, why we have to start something with the visual programming? Because we have a, as explained in the webinar, in the demo, okay, as explained in the demo, we have 2 lakh scripts are ready to use. Like we have a 2000 packages. So out of this 2000 packages, at least we can consider 100 ready-made scripts. 100 ready-made scripts, okay, in every folder. Edit the page. These are not like a packages. These are like a folders. These are like a folders. And you have 2119 folders. Let's consider 2000. So into 100. So there are 2 lakh scripts are ready to use. 2 lakh scripts are ready to use, but we don't use all the 2 lakhs. Out of this, there will be n number of, like duplicates. What do you mean by duplicates? The same script, like duplicated scripts would be there, or else some of having like a bugs in it. Some of them don't work at all, and some of them we don't understand. Out of this 2 lakh scripts. We don't understand anything. Ending. We don't understand anything. Okay, and some of them are very old. Very old. Okay, very old. Which doesn't support. This is very popular, but now they don't support. They don't support the new versions or the older versions. Oh my goodness. Oh, just a second. Added shortcut key here. That is the reason when I write new, it has given me everything. Okay, so very old, and few don't support. Okay, so there will be many reasons. So don't install. Rajesh told that there are like 2 lakh scripts and there are 2116 scripts. So I'll sit whole night and download all the packages. So I'll be more powerful than even Rajesh. Don't do that. Okay. So it leads many it brings many problems. Don't do that. Okay. Maybe we will be using 50 to 100 packages in between. Out of 2116, we'll be using like 50 to 100. Rest of 1900, they have to be tested. Even you can test it. I'll show you how to test and install it during the training. Okay. So if it is tested and you certify yourself, you can happily install that. Okay. Fine. So why should I write, from the scratch to get all the walls from the active model? So why do I write this? How many lines of code is this? So why should I write 60 lines of code? Why should I write 60 lines of code to get the 175 walls? Who will sit and write? If there is a small typo error, you have to wait. To write the 60 lines code, 1 hour. If there are any bugs in it, 1 more hour. If there are any functions which are not working, while you're adding more, the logics to it, 1 more hour. Why? Let's use directly the visual programming stuff. Understand? Okay. So to start learning the visual programming, there is a concept called data types. Data types. Okay. So the first 3 days we are going to cover this topic. Okay. And this is the heart of this entire training. Okay. So I want you to understand it, and it is very damn easy. Okay. Even your kid also can easily understand. Okay. If he is sitting with you, understand. Okay. So data types. So what do you mean by data type? For example, Okay, I mean, it's very simple. If I split it, so there is a data which is in now, different formats, which is in different formats, which is in different formats. Okay, so they are coming from different types. So if you understand the data is from which type, it is called data type. Simple. Okay, so what are the data types we have? Not only for the Dynamo, for the entire all the programming languages, there are two ways. There are two ways. Is that explained here? There are two ways. The first one is like a primitive. Primitive is common for all the programming languages. If you start learning something with a C or C++, C Sharp, Python, Ruby, or any programming language you go with, so the primitive is common, and the types which have in the primitive, it's common for all the programming languages. Now, the second one is a application specific. There are two. There are two. The data types. There are two. The first one is like a primitive. It's common for everyone, okay, and all the programming languages. But there is another one. It's called application specific. Application specific. So what do you mean by application specific? If you're playing with the Rivet, so the Rivet types are different. If you're playing with Civil 3D, the Civil 3D types are different. If you're playing with the SketchUp types are different. If you're playing with the Tekla types are different. Do you understand? Okay. So it's keep on changing from application to application. You can't see the scratch options in the Dynamo. You can't find the the Rivet, the nodes in the scratch because they're completely different tools. So the types which we have for the Rivet, they're different to the other applications. So you have to be focused on this. And we're going to cover this application specific tomorrow. Okay. So today we are going to see the primitive data types. What do you mean by primitive? What do you mean by primitive? Okay, let me show you that. Um, for example, I have an electrical fixture here. I'm having an electrical fixture here. Okay. So this electrical fixture, what is the height of this? What is the height of this electrical fixture? What is the height of this
365.
electrical fixture?
365.
365.8. Correct. So what is the circuit number which is assigned to circuit number?
4.
4. And what is the panel? To which panel it is connected?
CP1.
P1.
P1A. Okay. So to which worksite? In which worksite it is?
Set
1.
Worksite 1. Okay. So when I split this entire, properties palette into two parts. So the right hand side we have, it's called data. This is called data. This is the data actually where we play with. Okay. So this is not the actual data we have. We have a more data, but our bad is like we can't see the element ID in the properties palette. We can't see the explicit location of the properties palette because it's not required for a BIM modeler. But you are going to be a BIM developer. So you need to know the more detailed, the information. I want this information for all the elements. How do you bring it? Okay, let's see that how to bring it later. But where I can see that, so there is a tool called Rivet Lookup Tool. Rivet Lookup Tool. So when I just click on Snoop selection, so the one snooping in the sense extracting. Okay, so I want to snoop some sort of, and this is the properties palette for the BIM developers. Huh? Where is this? Let it come. Let it come. because I haven't shut down my machine from 2-3 days. I know that's right. Okay, let that come. Were you taking more time?
The new Revit lookup is little slow. The older one is little faster.
Yeah, that would be that would be another reason, yeah. And 25-25, that's good again. For 2025, it is March. Right. Okay, anyways, let that come. Meanwhile, let's get into this. Okay, so the right hand side part with it's called data, and the data is in different forms actually. So you have to understand what actually you're going to play with. Okay, so if I want to play with the level, so how to control that without touch that element, without selecting that parameter? I want to change this from level 1 to the level 2. I want to change this element from level 1 to level 2, but I don't want to do it by using my cursor. That's what an automation is. So how do you write action? I mean, how do you write the line of code uh, to do automatically without touching that element, without moving the cursor and changing that into the different levels? How do I change this? Now, when I change this to the level 2, it isn't still, it would be in the same level. Still, that would be in the same level. But the elevation from level, even it has to be changed to 365.8 something. Now this has moved. So I want to perform two set of actions one by one. One by one. First, it has to pick the element and it has to change the schedule level. And then it has to change the elevation from level to the previous value, the 365.8. So three set of actions. So how do I write everything like one by one? Abba, now this has come. Okay, let me show you now. So when I pick this element, now it will take time. I'll show this later. I don't want to kill your time on this. Okay. So the right hand side part, it's called data types. So let me explain what are the general data types we have through a GPT platform. Let me switch my team to this. So the first one. So this is the prompt where you have to use something like regularly. Like if I teach you the data types concept today, so you just copy this and it is here in the explain one. You are a Revit Dynamo tutor for me. You're a Revit Dynamo tutor for me, and your task is to guide the learner. I'm going to be a learner in teaching the concept in the context of Dynamo for Revit to automate the tasks. Okay, so provide the step-by-step instructions, examples, and exercises to help the learner. It's me understand the concepts and tools effectively, offer hands-on practice opportunities and detailed explanations too. This is the very accurate prompt you would get it. Okay, so just click on the explain one and then copy and type the concept here. If I teach you the data types, type the data types. If you have any doubts in the Rajesh explained like primitive data type and application Revit application specific data type. So it has given me the text. Let me just click on the next one. So the same one, the concept in primitive data types and list out some examples of the parameters. Okay, so it has the detailed explanation. It has a detailed explanation and gave some examples as well. First, let me finish our examples and then we'll come and understand what the GPT is giving you so that you can understand, whether you can understand the GPT language. First, let me understand, let me explain in my way. and then comment, we'll see the GPT examples. Then you will understand much easier. Okay, so we have all this. The first one, it is like a, why this is number? Okay, anyways, I'll change that later. So the first one, it's like an integer, and the second one is like a double. So what do you mean by integer and what do you mean by double? It is a number. So let me explain the primitive number. So some of the parameters contains the text in the numerical format. Okay, so in that way, in the numerical format, again we have a two ways to pronounce it. It will be completely different. The first one it's like integer, and the second one integer, and the second one it's like double. So what is the difference, Rajesh? I mean, if I show you something here, let me create a parameter. I'll just create a project parameter for any element. Let's say electrical fixtures. Would like to create one. Let me select all for all the categories. Bimera integer parameter. I'm creating an integer parameter, and I think you haven't noticed this before. It's clearly saying data type, the one what we are discussing about, data types. Okay, so that data type it is here now. So there is an integer. Let me select that integer, and under, let's say, identity data. Under identity data, display remains common, and it is an instance parameter. Let me create one. Okay, I'll just click OK. Now I'll pick this, and there is a parameter called b integer now. So this is more specific. Like when I enter 9160567890, my mobile number, enter a value or a formula starting with 0. So let me enter 916056. Now it is accepting. Whenever I enter 567890 point something, it's not accepting. It is saying that enter a value or a formula starting with equal to. Okay, so it's a warning. It's sort of a warning. I don't think so. You haven't noticed what is the reason behind it, because this can store only the round of numbers, the whole number. Okay, the whole number, like say 1, 2, 3, 4, the entire number without the decimal values. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So when I add 0.789, it is not accepting. It's not accepting. But some cases, sometimes I want to pull some information, the area information. It is in 150.678 square foot or square meters. So how can I ignore that, the number after the decimal? To do that, we have another one, which is called double. So integer, it means without decimal. Decimal in the sense dot. Okay. So I want to enter a number. So that is contains decimal in it. So with decimal, it means it's a dot. 123.456. So the above one, it's like 123.456. That is the difference. Okay. So the above one will call it as an integer, and the below one will call it as a double. In C or other languages, we'll call it as a float or something. I mean, if you already have a coding experience in your engineering days, you have a C language where we used to call a float. Okay, but now, I mean, for us, like now it's like it's a double. Okay, so integer and double. Now let me create a one more. manage project parameters. Let me create one B double B underscore double. I'm just creating like a dummy. And now I have an integer and I don't have a double here. I don't have a double here. I don't even have a float also. Then I have another like stuff that's called number. There is an option called number. There is a number because you don't know what is a double. I mean, if you're a developer, that it's fine. But integer and number when it comes to the Revit. So number equal to double now. That's saying check all and instance everything. It's fine. Let's click OK and then click OK. And I can say now. Oh, wait. It is another. Okay, fine. Let it be. I forgot to change to add in data. So B double. Now when I enter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it will add the decimal values automatically. It will add the decimal values automatically, and here it is not accepting. So 1, 2, 3.45678 See, it is accepting that. Okay, so there are two different data types. They are not one. If any, sometimes when you're trying to play with the Revit elements using the Dynamo, if that data type it is an integer format, so you have to play with in the integer format only, not with the double format. So if that is written, if it is a double data type, so play with as a double type, not as an integer. Simple. Okay, so there is a difference. So what is the difference? You will be coming to know in the coming examples, in the live examples. Okay, so well, what else? Now let me understand. I've selected this one. Now can you guess what is the data type of? What is the data type of unconnected height, unconnected parameter, integer or double?
Number.
No, don't use a Revit. Don't use Revit terminology. So we'll go with the Dynamo one. Okay. So
It's a
Dynamo,
double.
integer and double. Good. So that is a
Yes.
double. Top offset,
Double.
double.
Double. Circuit number,
Number.
It's an integer.
Integer.
Number.
Integer.
don't pronounce it as number. Okay, we have only two. One is integer and second one is double. Don't call it as a number. Okay. So circuit number, it's an integer. Mark,
Integer.
Integer.
integer. This one,
Integer.
integer again.
Integer.
Integer again. Okay, good. Let me try with any other element. Mechanical equipment. Water flow,
Double.
double. Offset from host,
Double.
Double.
1, 2, 3.
Double.
1,
Integer.
2, 3.
Integer.
Integer, because it
Rajesh, actually, water flow.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, water flow.
Double.
Yeah, water flow has some units, right? It will come under double or.
I'll explain that. Okay. So let me try with the door now. What about this data type?
Double.
Double.
Head height,
Double.
double. So you understand what is the difference between integer and double, correct? So the only difference is decimal values. Decimal value. Okay. Now let's go with the second one. So that is like a string. That's like a string. Okay, what do you mean by string? We'll generally call that as a text. It's a text. Okay, text and number, but we don't call that as a text. We'll call it as a string. String. Okay, we'll call this as a string. And we don't have a n number of types in string again. It's just a string. Text is a string. So it means like Bimera is a string. Okay, let me mute everyone. So tame GPT, it's a string. So my name Kumar, it's a string. Okay, Dynamo, it's a string. Okay, now all these are like a strings, and not only that. So when I type Bimera 1234, even this is also a string because a number contains the text in it. Try to understand very clear. Okay, a number which contains text in it, that is going to be string. Okay, now Team GPT 4.0. So I have a decimal value. So 4.0, so it's a decimal value. It can be string and it can be double also. But if you have any question, no more second not. Any number, even with the decimal values, which contains text in it, it is going to be string. Is it clear now? Is it clear? Let's say I have a level
Yes.
So that
150.
workflow is a string, right, sir?
I'll come to that.
Workflow, no?
I'll come to that. I'll show you that. Okay, after this example, I'll show you practically. Okay, so how to read that data. So level 150. I have 150 floors building. Okay, so level 150. It is string again. It's not an integer. Okay, because it contains text in it. Okay, so either the alphabetical. So let me say that here, the text in the sense like alphabetical, alpha numerical can be a string. They are strings, not can be. They are strings. Now let me go to the Revit. Now tell me, what is this data type?
String.
String. What about this?
String.
This? This?
String.
It's a string.
This?
Yeah, it's a string.
This one?
String.
String.
String. Okay. Now let me select this. Echo. Now, what about this?
Integer.
Hey,
It's a string.
It's a string.
Okay, sorry, string.
decimal.
String.
Yeah, it has a decimal value. How come it is an integer even? Huh?
Double.
But what about it has a text also, right?
It is units, right?
It's a string, no?
Yeah, it's a string.
units. It is a string. Okay. My answer is string. I don't know how many of you agree with me. My answer is string. Okay. Let me.
Sir, I have no query. You said that text in it with a value, it's a string.
It is a
Correct.
string.
For in this, in this, you have first numerical, value comes, then the text will come. It's also considered as a string.
No, that is a string.
Because
For
waterflow
now,
is
that is string. Okay, I'm gonna give you the clarity. Okay, but actually, what it should be? Let me mute. I think it's from your end. To echo. Okay, 2 1 check. Okay, so they are
This
not
L
even
slash S, it's considered as a string because this is not a continuous letter, right?
correct. Correct. Good. Nice logic. Okay. So they are not actually strings. I'll show you what it is exactly. Okay. So for now, just consider it as a string because it has a text in it. So generally, the first failure of a developer is understanding the data types. If a person is very confident on understanding the data types, he's almost like stepped onto the, if there are 10 steps. For us, the Dynamo, I mean, there are like 20 steps. There are like 20 steps. Like there are 20 different concepts. So if you understand the data types, not like one step, you're in this step now. Because the data types is very, very important in the entire journey. If you would like to start, you are directly jumping from first step to the third step. If you understand the data types concept, understand. Okay. So most of the people got confused here. Most of the people, 80% people got confused here. They don't understand what is the integer, what is the double, and what is a string, and what is the element ID, and what is point, what is a vector, what is a curve, and they don't understand anything and they got confused and stopped here itself. Understand? Okay. So I'm going to give you the clear explanations. Just wait for some time. Okay. So when I select this element, now 149.3, what is this? 149.3.
Double.
It's a
Double.
double or a
Double.
string. It has a text.
Yes.
So,
String.
String.
okay, fine. How do I come to know that, Rajesh, whether it is a string or not, whether it is? So let's play in Dynamo directly. Let's play in Dynamo directly. Okay. For the timing, I'll just go with only 2 4. To bring an object to play with the Revit element, I'm going to play with an element. I don't know which element it's going to be. Or else I'm going to play with the multiple elements. There are like 10 elements or 100 elements or 1,000 or 10,000 elements. So I want to extract some information. Or else I want to move all the 10,000 elements to my new project coordinates. Or else I want this 10,000 elements to be splitted into 5,000 and 5,000, and the first 5,000 elements to be moved to the right hand side and the rest to be moved to the left hand side with a 500 difference. So how do I select that? How do you segregate this 5,000 and that 5,000 to be moved? So everything you are adding some conditionals, everything. Okay. So to achieve up to that extent, first I should know like how to bring that elements into the model. So there is a concept called element selection. That is our fourth day. We are going to learn that in our fourth day training. Now fourth day. Okay. So that's going to be covered. Element selection. How do we bring any kind of an element or any elements without selecting, without switching back to the Revit? I want to bring these elements into the Dynamo. How to do that? So let's start with select model element. Select model element. Select model element. Just click on this is a button. This is a button, guys. Okay, so you have to click on this button first. You have to click on this button and then minimize this. And then now you can see there is a stop sign and the properties palette turned to the grayed out and the project process. I mean, project process doesn't matter. So that's completely, I can't able to see anything until unless I pick an element. Now that the back to the original states. Okay, if I switch back to my Dynamo and see, okay, it's saying that element 466742. 466742. This is the same element which I've selected. I think I have selected this one, right? Okay, manage IDs of selection. 469. I think I have selected some other one. Which one I have selected?
This top one.
This one, huh?
That one. Yes.
IDs of selection. Yeah, 466742. Good. So 466742. Let's see. I want to understand the data types first. Okay, don't assume yourself. Initially, in the beginning, for the first 3 days, you have to put a lot of efforts, okay, to understand the data types. Later on, it's very easy. You can, I mean, after tomorrow's session, you are more confident on telling which data type it is. Understand? Okay. So when I select this schedule one, there is a text and a number. So that is a string, text and number. So it can be a string as per Rajesh's recent explanation. That is a string. How to achieve this? How do I understand in the Dynamo? How to see that whether it is a string or number or integer or something else? So I've selected. There is a node called get parameter value by name. Get parameter value by name. So that is expecting, these two are expecting some inputs. The left hand side always they are expecting some stuff to be connected by the user. The user have to connect something to it. Even here it is expecting two inputs. The user have to come and connect something to it to execute this. So the left hand side part will called as an inputs and the right hand side part will called as an output. Okay, so these are expecting some inputs and I'm very bad in understanding the inputs. No worry, just 4 days, just 4 to 5 days you're going to understand how it is, because there are clear hints. The clear hints. Arey, idiot, come and see me. I'm gonna give you a hint. If you understand that hint, you can connect the right nodes to it. Understand? Okay. So for now, don't ask me anything. Let's watch. Okay. So I have connected this. Okay. And the parameter name always to be written in the strings. So there are two set of nodes here. To play with the number, integer and double, I play with a number nodes. I'll play with a number node. To play with a text, I use string node. I'll use a string node. Okay, number and a string node. Now the parameter name is always expecting like a string. If I hover the cursor on this, it is saying that string. Did you see that? In the second line, in the third line, so it is saying it's a string. Correct? Correct?
Yes.
So I have to connect the string to this. Okay, in string, what should I type? When I hover the cursor on this, it is saying that the name of the parameter whose value you want to obtain. Oh, name of the parameter. Okay, fine. I'll go and get that name of the parameter. Schedule level. Schedule level. Schedule level. So when I connect this to this, let me deselect this. None of the elements should be selected while you're playing with. Okay, don't select any elements. Deselect the elements and come back to the Dynamo again. No, it's not showing me anything. schedule level. Correct, no, everything it's right. But why it's still not showing me?
Space.
Space. Okay, correct. Space. I followed. Space. Space. Still, it's not returning anything. Any other reason?
You have to
All
run
letters
this
capital
problem.
letters.
We need a value, I think.
Quotation, inverted comma.
Spell check.
Capital S.
Capitals.
Caps
Correct.
and small.
Yes,
Caps.
capital.
S caps and L caps.
L caps.
L caps. Now I got
Actually,
this
we need
information out.
to
You see that? Now I can see something. The level name, actually, when I select this element, this is just showing me only the level one. But here, this is showing me something else. Level in the brackets, name equal to level one, comma, elevation equal to 94.1 1717 something else. I don't want to see everything. I just want to know what is that exactly. Now, forget about it, what it is exactly. Okay. So let me try with some of the parameter. Elevation from level. Capital E, elevation from level, F small. So now this is giving me, deselect the element. Now I can say 365.8282. There is a friendly node. Initially for the first 2-3 days, you need an assistant. Okay, and he must be a friend to suggest, what's right and what's wrong. Okay, so there is a friendly node called object.type. So this will give you you are connecting something object to it, and it is going to give you the data type of it. It's going to give you the data type of it. Okay. So when I connect that, it is saying that it's a double. See that? So that is a double. Okay. So when I'm playing with elevation from level, that is a double parameter. Okay, that is a double parameter. Okay. So what is this data type?
Integer.
What is integer?
Integer.
Integer, no?
Integer.
Integer. Because no decimal values. When I'm calling for like a mark, okay, when I connect this, but that is showing me a string. Why? So whatever I have taught so far, it is wrong. So it means like I'm directing you in a wrong way. Correct? Correct? So I don't want you to learn Dynamo full-fledgedly. So that is the reason I'm deviating. Correct? No. There is a logic behind that. I'll explain that. Okay? So let
Mark
me.
is actually a text function.
Correct. I'll come to that. Okay. So let me show you something. Works at 1. Okay. So let me go and let me type the same parameter name. Okay. So is that executed? Run has started. See, even though if you leave your Dynamo for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it will still show the run started. The reason, there is an element selected in the background. Okay. So if you deselect that, the run will be completed. You can see that here, run completed. So when I connect this to this, int 64, actually when I'm trying to call something like workset, it's supposed to print the text called workset1. But why it is showing me there is a value called 0? Confused. Correct? So understanding the data type is not that easy. Understanding the data is very, very tough. But I'm going to give you the detailed explanation. It takes 2 more sessions. You can't, you can't understand the data types concept in one single setting. You need 2 more settings to understand, this full-fledgedly. Okay. So the first, now it is saying int 64. But here actually Rajesh told that the text and number, it must be a string. Okay. It has a number. It has a text. At least it should a string, but how come it is an integer? So the Dynamo, not only the Dynamo, all the programming languages, all the visual programming languages confuse the user with the data only. But if you're more confident on understanding the data, why it is, then no one can beat you, because no one can confuse you, first of all. So if there is no confusion, and your path will be very clear. So you are traveling to somewhere, but you have to reach the destination, which is on a northwest side. Okay, even though you have tilted to southwest, but still you can reach. If you're confident, okay, this is not a southwest. Forget about the routes, but your ultimate destination is on the northwest side. So if you set your compass once, then you can reach your destination. Do you understand? So here you understand what it is exactly trying to convey, what it is trying to, what it is. I was expected that that is an integer because it has a number. I was expected that is a text because it has a text, I mean string, because that has a text in it. So even that is not an integer, even that is not a string, it blown up my mind. It's an integer now. Sorry, it's showing it's an integer, and it is not showing me the actual value. Why? Fine, let me show you some other examples. This time I'll select the wall, select model element. I'll select this wall now. Okay, so when I select this wall, tell me what is the storage type of this? I mean, what is the data type of this? What is the data type? Come on.
String.
String,
String.
correct?
String.
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 Base constraint,
String.
String.
unconnected height,
Double.
Integer.
Double. Sorry, double.
double. Cross section,
String.
String.
okay. Let me try with location line. I've selected this. Let me type location line. It is saying integer, but actually that is the text, but still it is showing me integer.
String.
Correct. It is still showing me that is an integer. How come it is? Okay, let me try with base offset. I'm just replacing that. Base offset. Double. So this is correct. That's double. Perfect. So top offset.
Double.
Top offset. It's a double again. Read this. It's a double. Okay, good. Cross section. What about cross section?
String.
String.
Cross section. Integer. It is an integer. And it is 1 now. Earlier it was 0 for some other parameter, but now it's showing it's 1. I don't know. So it's a bit confused. Works at 1. It's same. What about the door? What about the door now? It will be again the same. Let me select the door. Head height. Head height. So make sure no typo errors, and it should be case sensitive. It should be case sensitive. Okay. So if it is not a case sensitive, you will not get the result. If it is having any typo errors while you entering, the parameter name, so be careful. Okay. So 2260, this is perfect. But here it is showing me only, it looks like an integer, but here it is showing it's like a double. Okay, perfect. So what is the logic behind this? What is the logic behind this entire, the confusion? The day you created a parameter, if it is an integer, it will be an integer parameter, integer data type. The day you create the parameters, if it is a string parameter, that is a string parameter. See, what is it exactly? Let's say containers. Let me see the ChatGPT result. What it is exactly giving me. The first one. Okay, so I want you to teach the data type concept. Integer. So whole numbers like 1, -3, 500. This is like a integer. Okay, fine. Double in the sense floating point numbers like 2.5 minus. So there is a decimal values. We didn't cover the Boolean at all. Let me mute everyone. So the string in the sense there is a text and saying hello Dynamo text. Okay. So an ordered list, I didn't explain the dictionary, not it. So create a number node to explore these data types. It's trying to explain you, try to understand, not my examples, because I'm not going to be a tutor after 1 month. I'm not gonna support, I mean, I'm not gonna text you after, you paid me the fees and the 1 month is over. So if you text me, I'll block you. I'm just kidding. Okay. So you should go always with you have to interact with a person who is being with you for a long time. So the team GPT is going to be with you. So try to understand what it is explaining. Okay. So to explore these data types, create a number node. How do you create a number node? In the Dynamo workspace, right click and choose add node and search for number. Oh, is it? Right click. So there is an add node. So this is the add node actually. Okay. So people confused. There is no add node feature and they leave it over there. So add node in the sense, this is the one, the search bar. Okay. So I'll type a number as it said, I'll type a number and then pick the number node here. That's what it's saying that and search for a number. Then drag the number node into the workspace and click on the node or set a number value into the input box. So you can add a number over there. Sometimes these explanations are like, if you ask someone where is the nose, the guy who, the entire he turns this entire his finger and show from the back side. It directly don't show with the easiest way. Understand? Always the chat GPT, I mean, all the AI intelligence, because it doesn't have a human mind. Understand? It has an artificial mind. So sometimes you have to, put more efforts to understand even the easiest one. Okay. So you can blame that, array, why this is so complicated? That's its thing. Okay. You can train your GPT model like the way you want. Okay. We'll see that in prompt engineering things. So create a string node again. How do you do that? So repeat the steps above, but search for the string node. So what it is saying that, okay, repeat the same thing, but this time add a string node. Search for a string. Simple. So create a Boolean node to create a list. Same. We're going to see that tomorrow. Not tomorrow, maybe today itself. I'll show you the Boolean, not the list and dictionary. This will be covered in later sessions. Let's say not this now. Let me go with the primitive data types. Let me go with the next one. Integer, double, Boolean, string. Null is also another data type. I'll show you what it is. To explore the Dynamo environment, open Dynamo through Revit, navigating to the manage visual programming, and there is a option called Dynamo. Is it? Yeah, I think it's same. Manage visual programming panel, the Dynamo. Okay, perfect. So that's perfect. Once Dynamo opens, you see the workspace where you will create a visual scripts. It's not a scripting, it's a visual script. Okay. So creating an integer node, search for an integer slider. We have another slider as well. And creating a double node, number slider to create a Boolean node, Boolean, string node, null node. So to play with an integers. These are some of an examples. Integers might be used for defining levels or grid numbers. Doubles are often critical when setting the dimensions and precise measurements, like a door width or something. Like, I mean, if it's a very, precise value, like with the decimal values, the area, or something else like flow rate or volume or anything. Okay. So they are like a precise, I mean, it needs a precise value. Okay. So that is what. So when you ask, can you explain the primitive data types and list out some sort of an example, then it will give you. Then this one we'll see tomorrow later. Okay. So this is the way it is trying to explain you, but the way you ask in detail, it's going to give you more information on the same. Okay. So let me understand how to, did I miss anything else? No, no. Let me go with the Boolean and well, when I select this. So sometimes this can be string, this can be integer as well. This can be a string and this can be integer as well. So I've shown you some sort of an examples. When I'm typing some parameter name, that is giving me the value and that is showing me the type of it. No, Rajesh, how, I mean, is there any other easiest way to understand all instead of typing manually? I would like to see all the elements and their parameter types and everything. Yes, I'll show you. Before that, I have a question for you. Can you answer me this? Let's sort of a quiz. I want to count the windows. I want to count the windows. I want to count the windows. What would be the data type?
It's a number.
Integer.
Integer.
Integer. Correct. So, I want to calculate the duct length, entire the duct length.
Double.
The output would be
Double.
the double because it will not give me the straight away, the whole number. It definitely have some point values for sure. Correct? So what else we have? I want to adjust the wall height. Wall height. I want to adjust the wall height. Double. Correct? Okay. I want to set a room number.
String.
I want to set a
Integer.
room number.
Integer.
Room number.
It can
Room
be
number.
string
Can
or
be a string.
Yes,
It can be a string or a
Integer.
Also.
It depends upon the project. Either sometimes it can be an integer or sometimes it can be a string also. Correct? Correct.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let me move it somewhere here. Now, calculating the floor area.
Double.
Labeling electrical circuit names.
String.
Circuits.
Very good. String.
String.
Specify the pipe diameter.
Double.
Very good. I want to update a tag, furniture. String. Mostly the tags would be string format. Correct. So now you understand what are all this. So we have a few more data types as well. The third one, the fourth one. We have seen like 3. Let me mute everyone again. Okay. So integer, double, and string. And we have 3 more, but we'll just go with the next one. After the text, we'll call it as a Boolean. So Boolean in the sense, it has only 2 options. We have only 2 options, either yes or no. Yes or no. Or else tell me either true or false. Tell me whether it is correct or wrong. Okay. Check or uncheck. And what else? What else we have?
0 or 1.
Good. 1 or 0.
Turn on, off.
On and off.
Open, close.
On and off. Very good. Open and close. Anything else? Anything else? So we
Up
have
or
an
down?
Up and down.
up. No, no, that's fine. Good. So bring everything into this. Huh? Okay, fine. So Boolean in the sense it is having two options. One means it's a positive statement, and the second one is a negative statement. Okay, so up and downs are not a positive and negative statements. Okay, so open and close, yeah, that can be because to read it, but it's not. That is also not a complete positive and negative statement, but still that's fine. We are using open AI. Okay, and there is a close AI as well. So we have an open API, like Revit is an open API. So close in the sense it has some it has some barriers. So some of the API will be closed. So you can consider open or close anything. Okay. So yes or no, true or false, correct or wrong, check or uncheck, one and zero, on and off. For all this, there is a common thing if you notice it. What is the common thing? What is the common thing in all? You can answer it.
Only two possibility, I think.
Okay, that's good. And next one, very important one.
Ash.
No, that's a
Oh,
separator.
Giving direction.
You are very close to Raghu.
conditions.
Huh?
Choosing.
Condition.
Someone said something, not the condition. Someone said something
Condition.
else. Condition close
Condition.
to. Very simple. The positive
If
statement.
condition.
No. The positive statement is on the first. You see that? So always
Oh, okay.
it's the first thing. I mean, even though if you write, any examples on if else condition, I mean, if there is an if condition, so I mean, if I write if condition in coding, if condition or any condition, the first would go with the true statement only. So first you have to write the true statement, and if it case the condition failed, then you'll write the false statement. So always, sorry, always it must be the true statements, the positive statements always come at the beginning, the first one. Okay, so if there are any Boolean set of nodes, they'll they'll clearly tell you that. I mean, if it is a positive, then do this. If it is a negative, then it will do that. But it will not tell you what to connect exactly. You have to understand that sentence, like we generally called as a description. We'll call it as a input description. Okay, so I'll explain you that. Uh, I mean, if you don't miss the first 3 day session, you're going to learn a lot of stuff, which is more than enough to handle, most of the, basic stuff, most of the basic scripts. Okay, please don't miss the first 3 day sessions at all. Okay, try to attend at any cost. Okay, fine. So yes or no, true or false, correct and no. What are the, like, where I can see that? Here I don't have anything. When I select the wall, see there is a structural on and off. I mean, check, uncheck, check, uncheck. Did you see that? Hmm? And there is a hash association. So this is also a Boolean parameter, but it is not, I'm not able to select that as like this. I'm not able to select as like this. And if you notice one more thing, when I turn it on, I can see some hidden parameters are appearing. Oh, if I want to control, so not only these parameters, I can control few other parameters by turning on this. By turning on it, I can see few more parameters. But how to do that? We'll see that in our later sessions. And if I see the cross section, when I change this to the slanted, I can see there is another parameter which is linked with it. And to control this, I have to change this to something else. But here I have a 3 options, so it cannot be a Boolean. Even though when I turn it on, yeah, this is only 2 options, turn on and turn off. Okay. So what else we have? Let me try with some of the parameter. I'm sorry, some other parameters for other elements. I have a critical path, but I'm not able to turn this on. To turn this on, you have to play with some other stuff. What is that? When I'm trying to play with this parameter in Dynamo, it says, "Arey idiot, it is a read only. You can't play with this." Some of the parameters it looks like a read only, but to play with this, to control this, you have to play with the another parameter first. So first you have to play with that parameter and then you can play with this parameter. Understand? So there are many loops in it. It's totally the first 3-day session will be very confusing, but it will be very clear as well. Okay. So the parameter, the Boolean parameters are, let me mute everyone. The Boolean parameters are like turn on and turn off. Let's say it looks like a checkbox. It looks like the checkbox. Okay, if you have seen any checkbox, let's say if I select any learning plan, something, I don't want to overfeed it in the first day itself. Let me select the electrical equipment. See, I have feed through lugs. I can turn it on and I can turn it off. So I can turn it on and I can turn it off. So these all are like a Boolean parameters. These all are like a Boolean parameters. They have only two options. Either on and off, like true or false, something. Okay, check or uncheck. So these are called Boolean parameters. Are you clear now? So what are the Boolean parameters? Huh? Everyone, are you clear?
Yes.
Clear, no?
Yes, sir.
So if I
Yes.
select this, so what are the Boolean parameters we have here? What are the Boolean parameters we have?
Scale,
Scale,
critical path.
critical path. Anything else?
Yes, custom.
Is custom. Correct? Is custom. Let me ask ChatGPT to help me. Okay. With something like private Dynamo expert in a professional tone or else in an educational tone, with formal or academic style. Can you explain? Can you? I forgot to add a provide here, so I have to tell to provide. Okay. Okay, and I'll do that. List out some examples, some example parameters for the of Boolean type. Boolean type for the below categories. Let me check whether it can give you or not. Let's say for trays, let's say for ducts or pipes or walls. Okay, let me copy. Okay, let's start provide some. Oh yeah, it should be in another chat. So understanding Boolean parameters and Revit managed through Dynamo. For ducts, visibility control, fire rating requirement, flex duct status. For pipes, insulation required, slope activation, system classification. For walls, load bearing. Let me check whether it's correct or not. Ducts visibility control. If I select, I think for pipes, let's say this is the pipe, no. For pipes, Insulation required, slope activation. Insulation required. I don't have such. Insulation required.
It means like add or remove insulation.
Exactly. Add or remove insulation.
You have on the top in the tab, you can see pipe insulation, not in the properties tab on the top.
No, I need something to be
Not
here.
that here. Okay. Okay.
Okay. So it can give you some sort of an options like the slope activation, I mean system classification, you wanna switch from potable water to wastewater. So there is an option to switch from one to another one. So in that case, you can use this. Okay, I think this is not that great answer for maybe I have asked something wrong. Let me change this to the professional tone and change this to the technical details tone. Now I can get some professional answers. Let me see. Parameter name is visible. Description. Fire resistance. Parameter name is fire resistance required. For ducts, is operational. Insulation requirement. I think it is there. Slope activation. Maybe for this pipes we don't have. Generally, yes, it is there. Okay. So it's giving me the same. You try the same. Anyways, like you are having this access to this team, guys. Okay. So I'm gonna share you. I mean, for my students, I'm gonna give you the access to play. I mean, to see the complete chart history, what we are going to use in our the training. Okay, it remains same for long time. Don't worry. Okay. So I mean, even in the new batches, the people who are going to join, it'll be the name will be changed to the 55. Okay, but still you'll have this access to recall all what we guys covered during the training. Clear? Clear, everyone? So don't worry. Okay. So Boolean, and then I hope you understand what is a Boolean. So when I select any element, so when I select this, what is this? Lighting fixture. So calculate coefficient of utilization. Utilization. So this is the Boolean parameter. So turn it on and turn it off. How to play with these data types? There is another node called. This is extracting the value. But if I want to play with this, there is another node, set parameter by name. Set parameter by name. So these two we generally called as a twin nodes. Twin nodes. There are many twin nodes. So if you're playing with first one, so you can play with the second one as well. So element.get parameter value by name to extract the information. Simple. They're 100% safe nodes because it is just extracting the info. But this one is somehow risky, not somehow very risky, because this is an action node. Action node in the sense it is going to disturb the rivet elements. The rivet elements data. So the rivet element properties. So while you're playing with this set of node, you have to be very, very careful. So that I'm not going to show you today. Tomorrow we'll see that. I'll show you that. Okay. From yeah, we can see that. And we are actually creating a quiz platform once we're done with the training. So sit for some time and it's about to ready. I'm not sure when it's going to be ready, but it's about to ready. Meanwhile, I'll find an alternative. Okay, alternative way. Because I want you to understand. I mean, there is the only way quiz, because it recalls everything, and you will be coming to know where you are lacking. Okay, even I would like to know. We don't have all these resources before. Okay, most of the these integrations were done from this batch only. Okay, and for next batches, I'm not sure. I mean, the next batch would be in the October. I'm expecting, because I'm traveling to somewhere, so I will not be available. And I've started my own company, which is in AI. Okay, on AI platform. Uh, the company name is AI Labs. Okay, so I will be busy with that operations as well. Okay, so fine. So we'll see this tomorrow. Uh, how to handle and how to control all these parameters we are seeing practically. Okay. So meanwhile, your task for today is pick any element. Pick any element. Okay. Whichever. I mean, I'm gonna share you the path where I kept the exercise files. Okay. Just simply open this exercise file. Delete all this. This is an example. Okay. So let me just keep that. No problem. Delete this. Delete this. Delete all. Okay. So leave the as it is. Leave this as it is and set pick any element. I mean, if you're from architectural discipline, just pick any architectural elements. If you're from structural background, select the structural one. Okay. So if you are from MEP background, pick any your discipline elements, not the other disciplines. Okay, because first you have to become friendly with your own disciplined elements. Okay, your own scripts, then later we'll see. Okay, with the other disciplines. Okay, so pick any element by just click on select, but just click on select and pick any element here, either it's a wall or anything. Okay, so then once you selected that, and keep on changing the parameter names. View scale, I want you to type every single parameter of it. Okay, if you can't see the result, check the parameter name, whether it is the case sensitive or if you have seen any differences. I'm gonna send you all second. I mean, I will send you today 3 links. The first one to play the recorded video, I mean, of today's, and the second link contains the material, and the third link contains the doubts session. So there is a doubt document. You can go and uh, take a screenshot and copy paste and write a question over there like this. So you have to attach the screenshot where you have a problem and a question, and what is a question, and then I'm going to give you the answer. So question and answer, question and answer, question and answer. So your question and my answer, question and answer, everything like this. Okay, there are already uh, we have a few more questions like from the previous students. You can go through with it. Okay, but don't get confused. Start from the 91st page. So start asking from here. Okay, copy paste and ask there itself. Okay, clear? I'm going to send you this link as well. Clear? So change the thing and try to understand the type of it and note it down somewhere if you can. Note down, buy a book. Okay, and note it down somewhere. So this, the view scale. So that is this. Then display model, note it down somewhere, because it's hard to remember the same the storage type for so long. If you don't use it, you'll definitely forget. But if you have written somewhere, it will somewhere store in your mind for some time. Okay, so maintain a paper or book or something and note down all the parameter and the storage types of it. Tomorrow I'm going to show you like the easiest way to remember all this without using the Dynamo. I can explain you now, but we have few people who have been attended for the demo. Okay, so I don't want to disclose the entire magical stuff in the day one itself, even to them. Okay, so let's see that magic tomorrow. Clear? So anyone have any questions in today's topic? Anyone
Usually,
have any?
how much
Yeah.
time is the class? 1 hour or 2 hours?
It's at 2 hours. I mean, the level one, it will be 2 hours. So out of this 2 hours, the first 15 minutes and the last 15 minutes would be Q&A. It will
Okay.
be like a Q&A. If you don't have any questions, we'll leave early. Understand?
Okay.
Okay. So in between the 1.5 hour, it is my time. Clear? If you don't have any if you don't have any questions on the beginning, so the 15 minutes will be eliminated. So from that, the question, I mean, my session will be started. If you don't have any questions, we'll leave 15 minutes earlier. So we can consider it's like 1.5 hour. Clear? Clear, guys? Okay, fine. No. So anyone have any questions? Anyone have any questions?
Yeah, Rajesh, sir, this is Hari. Sir, as you said, I have first I tell me introduce myself. Actually, I'm working completely BIM. So the first my dynamo classes, it's super for me. But where I may struggle, where I may get the confusion now, when you explain the data types for regarding this class completely, you try to teach us the data types. Now you're doing the workspace, mana. You get the some input for the element get parameters. So how to identify? So this value I can get here because the select model is a element that we know, strings we know. But last episode element that get parameters. Here we are stuck because where I'm in new now. Here I am stuck. This area I am stuck.
Continuation. So there is a concept called, node finding. There is a concept called node finding. Okay. So this is almost like 1.5 hour session it is. So how do you find the connecting node to this? You understand this, but you don't know how to, I want to achieve this, but you don't know what node have to be placed. So those kind of concepts will be explained in the node finding session. Clear? So don't worry. I mean, that is not even a robotic science. It's very simple. Okay. So if you understand what the output is exactly written, you can understand how to achieve that. Very simple. There are very simple steps. Okay. Clear? Clear? Good.
Yes. I have another question also. Did you introduce a BIM era chart GPT, right? Can you introduce? Can you give some tutorial for just how to handle this BIM era GPT?
This is only for our students.
Just 2 minutes ago.
You're going to get it.
Yeah.
And I'll make a private videos and I'll share it with you. Don't worry. Okay. Still, there are many features are going to be added, Hari. There are many features are going to be added. Okay. So if you are, if you're not, you are a student, right? Yeah. You're a student. So if you're not a student, guys, we have an upgrade. Okay. And you can simply, by just just click on continue chat. You can buy a 1 year license. Okay. And you can access to the not to the students. There is a different platform for you. There is a different themes for you. So the people where they can, they're struggling to answer the lot of questions, and these are very new to the Dynamo, and they're not our students. For our students, there is a different platform. There is a different team. So we can't allow you to that. Okay. So you can learn and access everyone's history like that support. So there is a guy who is struggling to ask tech support, then it couldn't understand anything. So this is not the way it's supposed to be answered. This is not the way it's supposed to question, and this is not the way it's supposed to answer. Again, it tried. Then it has given something else. Then finally he got something Dynamo duck support and Dynamo duck support script. Then it could understand the basic stuff, and it has written. Even this is like 60% correct. But if you could answer, if you could ask the question very clearly, he could get the right answer. The only problem with is the questioning. We generally called as a prompting. So that is the reason I have given some beautiful prompts here. The very, very beautiful prompts here. Okay. So you can access all those prompts. When I just click on it, act as a Dynamo expert, explain the below exercise. Just type whatever you want to, write. Simple. If I want to achieve, get all the walls and ducts in the Revit model. Simple. Then just copy this and paste it here. So this is the way you're supposed to ask. So when you just click on enter, then it will generate the script for you. Understand? So this is the way you're supposed to ask. Don't ask blindly. Okay. So, and I'm doing a number of plenty videos on this, like the way to ask. And I'm gonna correct everything and I'm gonna share it on a private platform. I mean on the WhatsApp groups. Okay. So fine. Any other questions? Any other questions? Anyone? Any other questions? Any other questions?
Practice file.
So
Yeah.
can
Where did you get that practice file? This is the.
I'll send you. This one.
Yeah, this one. Yeah.
I'm gonna send you. I'm gonna send. Who is this?
Okay.
What's your full name?
send this.
Kunjiti, what is your full name?
Abdul Rahim.
For me?
Rahima. Okay, fine. I'll send you this. Okay. And
Okay, sir.
yeah, fine.
So the practice
Singh.
files where we are, it will be applicable for the all versions because we are using 22 or 23. Some people are working on 23 versions. So in the practice section, you are using 24 version.
I've seen
So
I have already run a poll. Everybody texted like about 2020 only. So you guys are everyone are having like about 2020. No one are using 2019 or 18, nothing. So they have a the better highest versions. So you can happily access all this. There is no that's a bullshit concept. I mean accessing not able to access the updated Revit. I mean sorry, the Dynamo files in the lower one. Okay, don't get confused with that. Yes, there is an upgrade and downgrade issue, but not nowadays. Okay, I've seen everybody are using like about 2020 Revit versions. If you are using 2019 or 2018, then text me on WhatsApp. Okay, clear? Even though you can even though you can play with this, there is another way to fix it. Clear? Good.
What is the version? Are you going to send exercise files?
No, exercise files can be opened in any version. Don't worry. Okay, you can open if you're above 2020 Revit version. That's can even though you're 2020 Revit user, that's fine. It can be opened. Don't worry. So Jeba Singh, yeah, this is a paid course, Jeba Singh. Okay, so it's a day one session actually. So if you want to join this training, yeah, text me on my WhatsApp. Okay, I'll share you all the details. Okay, guys, and I have a small request. Like we have 2 seats left. And if you're active in any BIM WhatsApp groups, please do share the text, the post that I've sent you on WhatsApp. Please post it in the Revit groups, okay? Because the management can stop, continuing the sessions even to fill that two people as well. Okay, clear? So I don't want
How
to
many
kill
people
anyone.
will be in one group?
In 30.
Sorry?
30 students would be in a batch.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
So trust me, and one
So
more.
today is a demo class?
No, this is a day one training. It's a day one training. The
Because I
demo
can
is
see
completely
36
different.
people here.
No. I have seen 55 or 60 something. The rest of the people are left. Only the students are there here. Okay. Cool. So Jabba Singh, if you are interested, text me. Yeah. You just text me on my WhatsApp, Jabba Singh. I'll reply. Okay. Good. So no more questions.
I
And
texted you on WhatsApp.
okay, perfect, Rajkumar. Fine then. So we'll see you tomorrow. Okay. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll join like 5-10 minutes prior to check to avoid this network issues and other stuff. Okay. See you tomorrow. Good night. Don't forget, playing with this task. I'm gonna send you all the list of links which are required for your practice. Clear? Clear,
So
guys?
you will be sharing through mail or WhatsApp?
Let me save
Mail
this.
will be fine.
Just a second. There's supposed to be new folder. I'll send you through WhatsApp.
Okay,
Okay?
fine.
I'll send you through WhatsApp. I'll send you the folder link directly. Dynamo May 24. May 24. I'm copying you. I'm going to send you D1 data types. Data types. Exercise. Okay? Clear? Clear?
Okay.
Okay? I'm going to send you
Yes.
this. Okay? Fine. See you. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
See you.
Night.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye. Good night.
Thank you.